Well, thank you very much, Dr. Spearman, and thank you for your leadership, for the leadership of your board and so many people here who are really making it happen. It is great to be here at Rock Valley College, and I want to thank everyone for hosting us today, for your commitment to educating the next generation of electric vehicle manufacturing talent. Your students here are exactly the smart and forward-thinking people that we need to lead us in the new green economy. To Mayor Clint Morris, thank you for helping to make known to Illinoisans everywhere that if you want to get trained for good-paying manufacturing jobs of the future, you can start right here in Belvidere. The Reimagining Electric Vehicles Act was a product of bipartisan collaboration, and it wouldn't be possible without the determined leadership of our General Assembly, people on both sides of the aisle. So thank you to Senator Steve Stottleman, to Representative Dave Vella for championing this legislation. A special thank you to Senate President Don Harmon, who has joined us here today, to Speaker of the House Chris Welch, and to all of the legislative leaders in both chambers who pushed this bipartisan achievement across the finish line. That includes people sitting behind me, Leader Marcus Evans, Leader Dan Brady, Senator Ann Gillespie, Senator Doris Turner, Senator Dave Severson, Senator Christina Castro, Senator Don DeWitt, Senator Maddie Hunter, and Representative Maurice West. Thank you again to all of you for the work that you've done. I also want to recognize our partners and our advocates in this effort, the Illinois Manufacturers Association, the AFL-CIO and Organized Labor, the Illinois Environmental Council, the Sierra Club, and so many more. And I also want to recognize our Director of the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, who's with us here today, Sylvia Garcia. I'm also thrilled that Jim Chen and Corey Ershow from Rivian, and Nate Baggio from Lion Electric, and representatives of Stellantis and ChargePoint, TCCI, and Ford have joined our celebration today. Their investments in EV innovation are what inspired the Reimagine Electric Vehicles in Illinois Act. With this bill, we intend to attract more EV manufacturers, charging station manufacturers, and automotive parts manufacturers more than ever before, and it will help Illinois become one of the leading EV hubs in the entire nation. With this new focus on electric vehicles, our state can also become a leader in the clean transportation revolution. Electric school buses, electric municipal buses, electric delivery trucks, electric 18-wheelers, and so much more. Not only can we lead in the fight against climate change, we can also create thousands of jobs for hardworking Illinoisans in the process. I'll be the first to admit that my goals for our state are ambitious, but we are backing our ambitious goals with tangible policy solutions that address our challenges and seize our opportunities. Just 2 months ago, I signed landmark legislation to increase clean and renewable energy production, which saved thousands of jobs in this area and kept our nuclear fleet operational. It also makes our state the first in the Midwest to require 100% carbon-free energy by 2045. It creates new job opportunities for our diverse workforce, and it sets historic standards for utility ethics and accountability. And if that's not enough realized ambition, in a few minutes I'll sign this Reimagining Electric Vehicles in Illinois Act into law, making clear to the world that Illinois is open for business and on track to be the best place in the nation to manufacture and drive an electric vehicle. I want to be clear that even before these new incentives are put in place, Illinois was already an attractive place for EV manufacturers. We're home to the nation's best infrastructure. We graduate the second highest number of computer science engineers in the nation. We have top-tier national laboratories, engineering schools, and business schools. We are the nation's epicenter of shipping and logistics innovations. And we have the most talented manufacturing workforce in the nation. And with yesterday's signing of President Biden's historic Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, Illinois will receive $149 million to expand our statewide electric vehicle charging network. We are eligible for yet another $2.5 billion in grants for EV charging stations in addition. This pivotal moment demands urgency, and it demands responsibility. It's no secret that transportation is the leading source of climate pollution. So we're incentivizing green economic development. It's good for business, and it's the right thing to do. The Reimagining Electric Vehicles Act is about acknowledging that there doesn't need to be a trade-off between a cleaner environment and more jobs. We can do both, and today we take a giant leap forward in that quest. So thank you, and with that I'd like to introduce truly one of the leaders in this effort, someone who has advised and made possible this very important new law and made possible our quest to create jobs in this new green economy, and that's Senate President Don Harmon.
Good morning, and thank you, Governor. Around the world, manufacturers are recognizing the inherent competitive advantages of Illinois. We are the leading transportation hub in the world's biggest economy, a true crossroads of road, rail, water, and air. We are home to the hardest working workforce on the planet. We offer tremendous research and development opportunities. Now, in addition to all that, with these new incentives, Illinois has the ability to compete on a global stage to bring the next generation electric vehicle jobs and investments to communities across our great state. I want to thank Governor Pritzker and his team for their commitment to economic development and to the people of Illinois. I also want to emphasize this is a team effort, and I'm so grateful to be joined by members of the Senate Democratic Caucus, our caucus chair, Leader Maddie Hunter, Senator Ann Gillespie, Senator Christina Castro, and Senator Doris Turner. But I will tell you, when the governor announced that he wanted to pass this incentive program, the first phone call I got was from Senator Steve Stottleman, who said, "This is important to the people that I represent, and I want to be involved in this." So I said, "Steve, why don't you sponsor the bill?" It's my privilege to introduce our Senate sponsor of the electric vehicles bill, the home senator, Senator Steve Stottleman.
Good morning, everybody. I also want to thank Governor Pritzker for initiating this package and seeing the importance of putting these packages together so we can make sure that EV production is incentivized here in Illinois. Thank you to President Harmon for allowing me to sponsor this bill. Certainly appreciate that. And I also want to thank the local officials as well. Belvedere Mayor Clint Morris, County Board Chairman Carol Johnson, and also Pam from Growth Dimensions, because they're the one who also reached out to me and say, we need to do something to make sure that the Stellantis plant here in Belvedere remains in the mix when it comes to decisions as far as whether to retool this facility. And of course, we have a lot of things to talk about in the state as far as a good workforce and a good education system, but these additional financial incentives are needed to make sure that we're competitive with other states. So I'm glad it all came together. I don't think it would be possible. I don't think Stellantis would have conversations with the governor's staff, and lawmakers if they weren't serious about considering the retooling of this plant here locally. There would not be in conversations that they would not be considering Belvedere to invest in this area. And so that's why I think this package is so important. That's why it's so urgent. I also want to point out this is a bipartisan effort. You'll see Republican and Democratic lawmakers here. In the Senate, I'll point out the package passed unanimously. In the House, there were 2 votes in opposition, so that allows me to give the House sponsor, my colleague Dave Bell, a really hard time about the final vote total, but we can talk about that later. But, you know, obviously, economic development is not and should not be a partisan effort. We need to continue to work together on a bipartisan basis to make sure that Illinois has its best foot forward and that we can continue to make sure that Illinois is the capital of electric vehicle production. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce the House sponsor, Representative Dave Vella.
Good morning. Thank you very much. I'll try to be brief. Manufacturing motor vehicles has been a mainstay of our region for longer than I've been alive. Last year, I started this job in January in a rough time during COVID. I made it important, and the number one priority in my first year is to get jobs back to the area, get manufacturing back to the area, and make Rockford region, Rockford and Belvedere region, the hub of manufacturing that it used to be. It's been a busy year. The governor's had some amazing initiatives, one being the energy bill, which was hard fought and hard discussed, and we were able to not only turn Illinois into one of the greenest states in the country, but also, very important to our region, save the Byron nuclear power plant. Now the EV bill, this is something that I've been working on for 6 months. I was lucky enough to sponsor it in the House, and I want to thank Speaker Welch for that. I was honored to work with the governor's office and also with local leaders, Clint Morris, County Chairman Johnson, Pam, you did a great job. Amy's here somewhere. Amy's over there, Amy Grafton from the Chamber of Council. The RVC, which has done a great job putting this place together. I learned so much from Representative West in the last year. And obviously Stellantis has engaged. I've been talking with them nonstop. They're excited. There's no commitment yet, but I feel confident that things are starting to move forward in a positive direction. Because this bill was set up the right way. We are not doing what other states are doing. We're not throwing money at big corporations. We are making sure that they're investing in our communities and in our workers, and then we give them the incentive. That way, they are part of the solution with us. This is smart manufacturing. This is smart incentivizing. And I think this puts us in the forefront. And I truly believe this could turn Illinois into the Silicon Valley of electric vehicle manufacturing. So I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to moving forward. I'm looking forward to the Belvedere and Rockford region growing at an exponential rate. At that, I will introduce Leader Brady.
Thank you very much, Representative, and good morning. Morning, Governor, and all my colleagues that are behind me and that are here. With the passage of this legislation, we can duplicate stories like the success of Rivian manufacturing in my district. Across the state of Illinois, we can have that. This incentive plan targets companies who will supply our existing manufacturers. This proposal will help make Illinois more competitive to attract companies who will not only be here to supply, but provide jobs, sorely needed jobs. They will bring these jobs and investments to our communities. Our manufacturers won't have to wait for supply chain demand challenges that we are experiencing. And I thank you, Governor, for signing this bipartisan piece of legislation. Legislation to protect and help not only the workers, not only the manufacturers, but also those of us across the state of Illinois. And all those in the House and the Senate who voted in favor of this legislation to make Illinois more competitive, I thank them for that, and I thank the Governor, and I thank all of you for being here this morning. And now it's indeed my pleasure to ask to come to the podium my friend and colleague, Leader Marcus Evans. Thank you.
On behalf of Marcus C. Evans, Jr., I'm State Representative 33rd District, one of the House leaders and the chairman of the Labor and Commerce Committee in the Illinois House of Representatives. And as we sit in the Rockford region, what comes to mind to me is many conversations I've had on the House floor with Representative Maurice West and Representative Dave Vella, true champions for the Rockford region. They demand that the Illinois House of Representatives pay attention to the Rockford region. It would not happen without Maurice West and Dave Vella, without question. So give them a round of applause for their efforts for your region. And hear that you have two champions. And when I think about today, there's a couple of things that come to mind. It's the facts. We have the most capable workforce in the nation. We are the heartbeat of the nation. We are primed and ready to work with the business community, work with the labor community, to produce for the people of the state of Illinois, and that is because of Governor Pritzker and the cooperation of the legislature. That is truly a fact. the action has been taken is pushing this legislation through, again, under the leader of Emmanuel Chris Welsh in the Illinois House of Representatives to ensure that the action reflects the thoughts, because thoughts don't matter without action. And finally is who? All of these legislators and the governor, we come together, and Representative West and Bella, and we say we want to do all of these things for Rock Valley College, the community colleges, Chicago. We want to do it for all of the downstate communities. We want to do it for the entire state of Illinois. But who's going to do it, right? Well, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to get the next person. She's going to do it. The director, Sylvia Garcia of DCO, Department of Economic Opportunity, taking the facts, taking those actions, and who is going to produce for the residents is going to be our director appointed by the governor. So a big round of applause, because she had a lot of work to do to Director Sylvia Garcia.
Thank you. Thank you, Leader Evans. No pressure, right? No pressure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sylvia Garcia, and I'm the Acting Director of the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. I'm very happy to be here today with the Governor and so many of our legislative and industry partners to celebrate this important program. As the daughter of an auto worker and a former transportation official myself, I truly understand the importance of this legislation to both Illinois and our economy and our future. The Reimagining Electric Vehicles in Illinois program, or REV Illinois for short, will be a game changer, boosting advanced manufacturing, creating jobs, and helping Illinois enact a bold, clean energy future. REV Illinois builds on our long, proud history as an auto manufacturing state and supports a strong future in the electric vehicle, or EV, production industry. We know that EV production is poised to attract billions of dollars in investment and create thousands of jobs in the United States in the years ahead, and this program helps position our state to capture growth and really make sure that this industry is based here in Illinois. It's important that we grow the EV manufacturing ecosystem, which is why the REV Illinois incentive program looks at companies small and large, new and existing, to manufacture electric vehicles, component parts for electric vehicles, and or charging stations. REV Illinois recognizes that the rush to scale will truly require an all-hands-on-deck effort, calling for innovation by new companies as well as old companies who are here already, will be converting to EV manufacturing in the years ahead. All of this is necessary to make Illinois a great place to both drive and produce EVs and meet Governor Pritzker's goal of having 1 million EVs on the road by 2030. To truly be competitive, we know we need to shine a light on what already attracts companies to Illinois. Our central location, as the governor mentioned, our world-class infrastructure that includes so many different modes of transportation, education, research, and so much more, and most of all, our people. The governor has recognized from day one that our ability to grow the EV ecosystem requires a skilled talent pipeline. That's why REV Illinois incentivizes investments in upskilling existing auto workers and expanding training for graduates of Illinois institutions, including colleges like Rock Valley, where we are here today. To maximize the economic impacts of EV investments, qualifying applicants will receive additional benefits for investments in underserved areas and as well as energy transition areas. And to make sure the EV industry is intentionally increasing access to economic opportunity, REV Illinois requires companies submit hiring plans and report on workforce and vendor diversity. I want to close by thanking my team at DCO, who worked really hard alongside the governor's office and the General Assembly staff to develop the framework of this bill. I'd especially like to thank Michelle Mason-Cup, our general counsel, as well as Jason Horowitz, our policy chief. Both of them are here today, and there was so much time and energy, late nights and weekends, that all of them did put in to make this bill a reality. And as Leader Evans says, now the real work on our side begins, but we really appreciate this opportunity to be a part of this legislation that will transform the EV industry in Illinois. With the signing of the bill today, we've launched our DCO website for REV Illinois. If you go to our homepage, dco.illinois.gov, and click on Assistance for Businesses and look for the incentives page, you can find out more about the REV program. With that, I'd now like to turn it over to Chen from Rivian, who's one of the companies leading this EV revolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Garcia. Thank you, Governor Pritzker. My name is Chen. I'm the Vice President of Public Policy for Rivian Automotive. I am proud and humbled to be representing our company here today at this bill signing. We wish to congratulate Governor Pritzker, the leadership of the General Assembly, and the General Assembly as a whole on the passage of the Reimagining Electric Vehicle Act.
This legislation will promote Illinois as a state that welcomes and supports the entire electric vehicle manufacturing ecosystem, bringing investment, increased jobs to this, bringing electric vehicle manufacturing, increased investment, and clean energy jobs to the state as we tackle the challenges of climate change and promoting cleaner air. Rivian is particularly proud to be a part of this ceremony supporting Illinois as the state charges ahead with leading America in the area of new transportation technology. Rivian came to Illinois in 2017 in a state that welcomed us with open arms. Governor Pritzker and the leadership of the General Assembly have worked with us at every turn as we have sought to expand and grow our organization. Our manufacturing facility in Normal, Illinois now employs close to 4,000 Illinoisans with nearly 3.5, actually over 3.5 million square feet of manufacturing space and continuing to grow today. Today's bill signing represents the next step in promoting Illinois as the Silicon Valley of EVs as we work together to attract new investment from suppliers and other supporting players in this industry. It is now my sincere honor to turn the program back to Governor Pritzker for the bill signing. Governor?